Bonjour, and welcome back to the French campaign in Ultimate Admiral, dreadnoughts. So we've fought the Dutch a few times. Now it's time for a big battle against the Italian Navy. And they have a lot of destroyers. I'm not even going to count them, but most of them are these like 700-ish ton 26 knot destroyers. So they're basically pretty old, I guess. They got a couple around 900 tons. Also 26 knots. So they're probably been built before 1.35. Because up until very recently with 1.35, it was very, very difficult to build destroyers that worked, that were viable designs and not horribly overweight early on because of engine weights, unless you made them like 26 knots and minimized everything. But now you can, so my destroyers go 32 now. Now the Italians also have a bunch of battleships. I thought these were just 8 guns each, ABXY, but now I notice that, they've got 2 single 12.3-inch guns as well, which is weird. And a couple pre-dreadnoughts, and the biggest threat here, probably, these 3 Lepanto class battlecruisers. 1 knot faster than mine. But they only have 13-inch guns. But I'm pretty sure those, yeah, they are Mark IIs, because I designed them. Anyway, let's fight. Yeah, 47 destroyers. That's a lot. And you can see that these are definitely my designs. Not just because of the SD suffix, but because they look like pretty much every battlecruiser that I build. Well, I only have 2 divisions here. So, setting up my fleet does not take long. There we go. Ready. At 26 knots, those enemy destroyers should not be able to catch my battlecruisers if I just sail away. So I'm not too worried about them, really. But if I take some hits and start flooding even just a little bit, I might just get surrounded. Let's not have my battlecruisers head directly towards the enemy. Because I might need time to turn around. And I wish I had some of those new light cruisers ready and part of this task force. Just because having some scouts would be nice. I had some light cruisers in this task force, but I sent them somewhere else because I was building new ones. I should probably have let them remain until the new ones are ready. But there we go. 1 battleship spotted, and that is something very ugly. It's an AI design, certainly. These are pretty short-ranged. White powder and picric acid. standard AP, and nose fuse. HE. Let's drop that down to like 100, because that's what my armor quality is. And the enemy armor quality varies. It's kind of all over the place. These have 65. 15-inch main belts. Yeah, I can pen that. Can you pen? No, you cannot pen me. So, battleships? Not that scary. They're like technically dreadnoughts, but they're so early dreadnoughts that they might as well be pre-dreads. But here we go. That is one of their battlecruisers. I don't know why Italy has ended up with these kind of ugly turrets as Mark II turrets. I seem to remember they had some different ones. Yeah, that is effectively a 15-inch main belt with the effect from the first inner layer. And that is their pre-dreadnought, which is not very good. What kind of Citadel did you guys have? Well, you got Citadel 1. Where are the DDs? The enemy has 47 destroyers somewhere. No sight of them yet. My 14-inch guns will soon be in range. And the enemy battlecruisers are just following the battleships. So they're not really making use of their speed. There you go. Seeing some smoke screens. And we got some smoke screens here as well. Okay. Well, it's going to be difficult getting into range here. Yeah, definitely difficult. Let's see, what kind of torp range does an Italian torpedo boat have? 2.7. Are they fast? No. Let's just have these destroyers now. Maybe launch at the light cruisers. While keeping the guns on the enemy destroyer. We're gonna see if we can get out of here. You two didn't launch. That's fine. Battlecruisers, you need some targets here. I'd like you to mainly be focusing the enemy battlecruisers, which are now invisible, so that doesn't really help. Well, Lepanto is visible. If we could land some big hits on her. That would be nice. Here come their torpedo boats. These are, 1902. They're not like super old. So they actually got some decent range. We got more smoke screens coming in here. I think these destroyers are actually going for my my torpedo boats. My destroyers. Excuse me. Lira down. Amalfi. 1897. Pretty big armored cruiser. Only Mark 1 guns though. Mix of 10s and 7s, much like my own. Uh, 322. Maybe she can fix that flooding. Let's see if we can have 324 just launch at max range against Amalfi. Let's see if we can maybe get some get some hits there. On 25 knot light cruiser. And we can just have the secondaries targeting the destroyers. That's one of the bigger destroyers. 3.2 kilometer torps. 18-inch. Fast torpedoes. 3.2 kilometer fast torpedoes. So what would that make in if they were regular torps? Those torps are not going to hit much. Probably. Nah, because Amalfi is maneuvering. And here comes the fog. Two on each. And you're going to be firing AP. Uh, 324 is taking some hits. Considering they have much worse armor quality than my calculator is set to, I'm not going to reset it just for these specific ones. I might be able to go through at that range. Oh, you're now only doing 20 knots. That's not good. Might not be able to make it out. These are still doing more than 26, so they can outrun anything the enemy has. Still, even having taken a little bit of damage. It's so nice that you keep changing targets. And by that I mean not very nice at all. My battlecruiser is also now going at reduced speed because of the sea state, I guess. now taking return fire from those battleships. Let's go with that, unless something more exciting happens. Scored some penetrating hits on Roma. No, like, proper main gun, main belt pens yet. There we go, main belt pen on Sirena. Only 700 damage. There we go, that's better. And one destroyer is scuttling, but they've got at least 40 more. I haven't sunk that many. Something there, I guess. There we go. Main tower pen on Roma. And a main belt pen, okay. Come here, Giuseppe. Roma is close again. One more surrendering. Let's have these destroyers like turn around and then launch torpedoes at the nearest light cruiser. Let's see if those torps can just do something. Can we get 321 back home alive? On dead torp. On Marsala. We got some more coming in. That may or may not end up doing something. It's a decently armored light cruiser. It's just very, very undergunned. Torps didn't do nothing. Yeah, 321 has fixed the engine. So these have remaining torpedoes. They can potentially launch again. 21 does not. Come on now, let's get ourselves a dreadnought kill. They're firing at my DD that far away. We could hit the battlecruisers too. Potentially. .1-inch secondary is actually doing a pretty good job dealing with that light cruiser. Surprisingly so. Didn't think they'd be that good versus a cruiser. Let's take on Lepanto instead. Oh, Lepanto went invisible in that little smoke screen. Let's turn down a little bit just to get some cruising speed bonuses. I'm also firing through a bunch of enemy smoke screens, so that doesn't really help with the accuracy. These two have their torpedoes back. I don't think we're going to be sinking the entire enemy task force here. Okay, now of course we're not just firing at that battleship. They picked different targets, so back to auto ammunition selection. We're still doing almost 25 knots with these destroyers. We get close enough to launch some torpedoes at those capital ships. Maybe. Should be losing sight of me now. I see one big juicy battlecruiser that is begging for torpedoes. I also see some smoke screens that will probably try and stop me from doing that. There, and also there. Torps away. Sank one light cruiser. Well, this one still has some torpedoes, but yeah, one of the launchers are gone, so it's only launching one. Only launching two, because it's double launchers instead of 4. Here come that destroyer screen again. That's where you were. Let's hit the lead ships of each division. To slow them all down. and make sure they don't catch up. That's better. The hog disappeared. This is when we're going for some intercepting hits. I'm so glad I have battlecruisers here and not like slow pre-dreadnoughts. Or this would mean trouble, probably. There are more here too. They had 47 to begin with, so I don't think we've even done half of them. There, pick out some targets. We need to put some main guns on these battleships as well. Freya took a penetrating hit from a 13-inch. That's from one of the battlecruisers. Danzig, are you firing HE at that battleship? Save the HE for destroyers. There we go. That's how we do it. Lamp is turning away. Now target turbine. Danzig, I thought I told you to fire AP. I guess that click didn't register. Fortune, you can target Amalfi. Some more massive hits on Roma. Taking out the engine. And we punish Amalfi as well. Sirena has retreated to the back of the battleship line. My destroyers all retreated safely, by the looks of it. It looked a bit dicey for them for a while, but then they all got out. I think we're gonna flood the Roma. Surprisingly, no big flash fires on enemy capital ships yet, despite them using like picric acid and white powder. Roma goes down. In Grand Anglais, you can now target a battleship, battlecruiser, excuse me. Furieux has a flash fire. That wasn't supposed to happen to my ships. All her main guns are out. It didn't result in any like serious flooding though, which is lucky, but yeah, that means you are going out. You'll be able to get out of here alive. Running a little bit low on that AP. Detto Bryn. That's some thick armor. That's some seriously thick armor. But at this range, we should be able to go through. 9 kilometers. Yeah, we can go through. Yeah, it's one of these hulls. I kind of like those things. Like for pre-dreadnoughts. Fourier is being pursued. These DDs will not catch up. Still doing 24.3 knots. We can reduce speed here on this line. They're all being held back by this very crippled battleship. There we have some flooding also, keeping this squadron nice and slow. Good hits on Amalfi, that might be the end of her. You can HE pen that. AP pen, I mean. Stop targeting the destroyers with your main guns. Especially not when I've ordered you to fire AP. There we go. At 8 kilometers. That should be easy work for those 14-inch guns. As I said. That is one battleship down. And Furieux still being pursued, but is not in any danger. I wonder how many destroyers are actually pursuing that battlecruiser. Potentially many that are not currently visible up here. More 4-belt flooding on Sirena. What are you guys up to? You are up to having engine damage. Fortune has taken a hit. What hit you? 13-inch from a battlecruiser aft belt pen. And we accidentally hit Carolina as well. That is pretty good. And I think we've now sunk the Sirena. Through a very liberal application of 14-inch armor-piercing shells. Taking 62 14-inch hits. 3 cruisers here. That's 3 targets for 3 ships. And I think it's best to get away now, because if they start closing in again, getting away will not be an option, not with Fortune. Now being limited to 19.2 knots. There's one more also with very heavy engine damage. Toronto is gonna sink. And it looks like the battlecruisers are now speeding up. Probably because we sank the Sirena, which was holding them back. Main guns on Etna. And the secondary guns can keep peppering these destroyers. something else took some punishment there. Oh, yes. We are out of AP. Almost out. So, not sure if we can do too much to Etna at this point. Well, some of my ships still have, Fortune still has some AP left. And we get flash fires on Etna. 2 flash fires on Etna. It's a very cheap armored cruiser though, so it's not as if it's the most important target ever to take out. But out she goes. Our main guns can target that light cruiser. These guys have plenty of ammunition left. Also running out of secondary ammunition. And we're just gonna end it here before they score one more lucky hit and catch up with me. So that was 28 ships sunk, including 3 battleships. I thought I only sank 2, but no, it's 3. Very nice. No major damage to any other battlecruisers though. And most of those 47 destroyers are still very much alive. Still, a win is a win. That's a good chunk of victory points. And let's see what the next meeting for tomorrow's episode is. It's here. My dreadnoughts and 1 pre-dreadnought. And the new Rochambeau class armored cruiser with the triple 10-inch guns. Going up against this task force. It's a much smaller task force than the last one. Only two destroyers. But these are 30-knot DDs. With triple torpedo tubes. I think I just unlocked those. So they're ahead of me there. And a 1913 light cruiser. 30-knot top speed. And again, with only 4.7-inch guns. That's a shared design as well. As for the armored cruisers, we got Suprema with 6 9.2-inch guns. I got 4 of those. 24 knots. That's pretty speedy. San Antonio class battlecruiser. That is not one of mine. It's very undergunned with 11-inch guns, though. And the Andrea Doria, which we've already seen. That's a 26-knot battleship. So it will not be holding these battlecruisers back. It's by 0.1 knot, it's going to be the other way around. Well, we're going to see how this goes next time. Goodbye, and take care.